I briefly go back to overrated as hell, if I may here. You believe Baker Mayfield is overrated?
Absolutely.
Just speak to what this guy is doing for you.
I mean, he's extremely difficult to defend. He's one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the game right now. He keeps plays alive. He's the ultimate competitor.
What was it for you guys to get the victory?
I loved it, and it's also their D coordinator was the one that cut me in Carolina, so it was a lot of stuff was personal today. Son Reddick, former Jet, a lot of people.
Everybody need to put respect on Baker Mayfield's name.
Baker Mayfield has been written off more times than any other quarterback in NFL history, and every single time he comes back swinging. From the Browns to the Panthers, then from the Rams to the Bucs, his career has been a roller coaster of doubt and non-stop redemption. But now in Tampa Bay, he silenced the critics with MVP caliber play, game-winning drives, and a swagger that's impossible to ignore. And truthfully to us fans, he's always been entertaining. But to NFL legends, they're calling him something else entirely. Completely unstoppable. Now look, as we all know, when Baker Mayfield joined the Cleveland Browns in 2018, they were never in more need of a savior. The vibes were at an all-time low, and Baker Mayfield, as the first overall pick in the draft, had the inevitable task of trying to turn things around. And well, truthfully, in the early going, it kind of looked like he was turning things around. In week 3, he made his debut, taking over for Tyrod Taylor while the Browns were losing 14-0 to the New York Jets, only for Mayfield to complete 17 of his 23 pass attempts for 201 yards in a dramatic come-from-behind victory. Then, 2 weeks after that, he won at home again, passing for 342 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception in a 12-9 overtime win over the division rival Baltimore Ravens. And now look, there is certainly not a lot of love lost between the Browns and Ravens, which is why it's telling that legendary safety Eric Weddle had this to say after the game. He went on to say, "I respect good players and he did a good job. He made some throws that were really good, and he made some other throws that were really bad that we could have capitalized on. But shoot, the game's on the line and he made a great throw and the guy made a great catch and run. As good as our defense played, they made one more play than us." That victory also gave the Browns a 2-2-1 record on the year and plenty of optimism. Unfortunately though, the next 4 games all resulted in losses, but the rookie quarterback continued playing well. He tossed 7 touchdowns in the 4 losses between 6 and 9, including a clash against Patrick Mahomes. And now look, as we all remember too, these two quarterbacks once treated us to a truly remarkable 66-59 game win in college, with Baker repping the Oklahoma Sooners and Mahomes repping the Texas Tech Raiders. Therefore, Mahomes was pretty familiar with Mayfield's game, and he had to say this about his opponent afterward.
I talked to Baker before and after the game. I mean, he's a great guy. He has a ton of talent, and he's gonna keep getting better every single week. I mean, he played well today, and the future's bright for him and the Cleveland Browns with him at quarterback.
Thankfully though, Baker didn't have to wait long to see his good performances to be rewarded. He celebrated big in a win against Atlanta in week 10, in which he threw for 216 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions on an 85% completion rate. And really by now, Baker was feeling himself, and we got a first look at the confident Mayfield we all know and love.
Do you know that in warm-ups, if you're going to have a day like that, like a starting pitcher or something?
No, warm-ups not really, but when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Care to expand on that?
I just woke up feeling real dangerous. Yeah.
And now look, truthfully, for a franchise as lost as Cleveland, seeing this kind of personality was something you wanted to see from your starting quarterback. But as we all know, in a league where just confidence and just swagger is such a pivotal part of someone's game, when Baker was showing all of this confidence, not a lot of people respected him and liked how he was displaying himself. In particular, one defensive Hall of Famer in Houston just a few weeks later said this.
He probably wasn't feeling too dangerous in the first half, but he was feeling a little more dangerous in the second half. Obviously we're lucky. We made a lot of good plays in the first half, a couple huge plays, and he came out and made some plays in the second half. So you got to give him credit for that. I mean, he bounced back as a rookie quarterback. Probably would have been easy to kind of go into a hole there, but he fought through it and worked his way through it and played good football in the second half. Like I said, we had some guys make some great plays in the first half and put us in a good position, so it never really hurt us in the end.
And now look, it's telling that a future Hall of Famer felt the need to get that little dig in against a rookie who had just defeated him. Mayfield really did ruffle feathers early, but at the same time, it's also telling that Watt then felt happy enough to praise his mindset. Baker had thrown 3 interceptions in the first half, but still rallied against a good defense to put up nearly 400 yards and a touchdown to make him feel at least a little better. And trust me, as we kind of explore more into Baker Mayfield throughout this video, the dude is a non-stop fighter. Like, he will never give up, even when the chips are all down and everything is against him. But for now though, we need to hear from another NFL legend defender who also didn't take well to some of Baker's pre-game antics when he first went up against him. Richard Sherman, who helped San Francisco better the Browns in Week 5 of the 2019 season, told NFL Network's Mike Silver what's amazing and annoying was him not shaking hands at the beginning. That's some college stuff. It's ridiculous. We're all trying to get psyched up, but shaking hands with your opponent, that's NFL etiquette. And when you pull Bush League stuff like that, that's disrespectful to the game, and believe me, that's gonna get us fired up. And now look, I'm gonna let you decide if that's really disrespectful, because of all people to be talking about being disrespectful is Richard Sherman. But either way, we all know, it's clear that Baker Mayfield has always and will always rub some people the wrong way, and he's completely okay with it, and I am too. Like hell, even former coaches seem to enjoy taking shots at him.
And this Baker Mayfield, yeah, I know he's overrated as hell, but
Whoa!
I'm like this. Here's the other, what's in this team though is you have no tackles. Yeah. And so are we going to make an adjustment, or are you just going to let them get beat one-on-one all day long?
Can I briefly go back to overrated as hell, if I may here? You believe Baker Mayfield is overrated?
Absolutely. Look, I bought into the dang hype.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh yeah, but not to the point where everybody's saying he's going to be the league MVP.
What are you seeing that he's not doing right now? What's he doing wrong?
What's he doing right, Greeny? Because I'm going to look at this. Here's a guy right now that is a one-read guy, and then he's going to improvise. He's got to realize you are one of the slowest guys on that field when you take off with it, okay? Yep. The other thing, the ball's not coming out in rhythm. You're staring down guys, and you're not that accurate down the field.
Wherever you look though, there are plenty of guys who didn't seem to like the Cleveland Browns quarterback. And really, I guess that's what happens when you dare to have a little bit of confidence and personality, but not the results to back it up. He did throw 21 interceptions to 22 interceptions in that 2019 season before ultimately being let go by the Browns a couple of seasons later. This was a disappointing end to his time in Cleveland, considering he secured them their first playoff win in 17 years in 2020. Now, as we all know, in football, just every play matters. One missed block, one dropped pass, and the entire game can change. We just saw it this past Saturday. And well, truthfully, life's kind of the same way if you think about it. It's the small details that add up. And well, as you guys know, my motto, look good, feel good. Well, if you want to look good, feel good, play good, then you have to make sure that your face is taken care of. And you guys are in luck because that's where Tiege Hanley comes into play, and they have the perfect playbook for skincare. They've got systems for every guy, but the go-to for me is the level 1 system. It's the ultimate starter pack for building a winning routine of taking care of your skin every single day. It is the daily face wash, which clears dirt and oil so your skin stays in top shape. The exfoliating scrub smooths rough spots and keeps pores open for the long season. And then the AM moisturizer with SPF blocks the sun like it's prime Joe Thomas. And I know a lot of us kind of overlook skincare, but truthfully, it takes just 5 minutes and you're gonna have healthier, clearer, and just smoother skin for a longer time also, so you won't get as wrinkly as quick as either. Most importantly too, I'm a guy that doesn't like to do skincare sometimes, but this routine has been so easy to do that because it takes less than 5 minutes, that I've been actually able to do it every single morning. Like I said, it leads to clearer skin, more confidence, and something that I can actually stick to during this season. Because as we all know, just like a team needs consistency, your skin needs that consistency also. So shout out to Tiege Hanley for giving my viewers an insane deal right now. You guys are going to get up to 40% off your first box, plus a free gift worth $20. Just click my link in the description to get started. Again, up to 40% is absolutely insane what they are giving you guys, along with a free gift up to $20. You guys gotta try this, because when you take care of the fundamentals, the big wins come a whole lot easier. So again, thank you to Tiege Hanley for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into it. The victory laps were noisy from all of the Baker haters, of which there were plenty, and they would have stayed that way over the 2022 season as well, when Baker struggled with Carolina and ultimately couldn't convince the LA Rams to keep him in the building either. However, in 2023, everything changed. With Tom Brady departing from Tampa Bay, some very big shoes needed to be filled, and much to many people's surprise, the Bucs turned to Baker Mayfield in a move that now looks like a complete stroke of genius. Bearing in mind the last NFL legend we heard from was Rex Ryan destroying Baker on national television, let's now check in with Peyton Manning, who had this to say about Baker after the 2024 season, which was Mayfield's second in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's exactly what we were talking about. What Baker has done, adjusting to the different systems he's played in, and he had several play callers in his first 2 years in Cleveland, and went to the Rams and played good after 3 days of practice, and what he's done in Tampa since he's been there, and obviously another change. Look, if you play well in the NFL at quarterback, oftentimes they'll hire your offensive coordinator as a head coach, and that's kind of a compliment to the quarterback as well, and so it's part of it. You learn to adjust, but Baker's a pro. Baker can speak all those different languages. It is easy for him to adjust, but it doesn't mean it makes it easy. It's impressive what he does, and it tells you a lot about him and his ability to adjust and improvise, and he's been fun to watch these past couple years in Tampa.
And now look, Peyton, he's right. Those first 2 years in Tampa Bay were indeed fun to watch. The first of them in 2023 saw Baker surpass the 4,000-yard mark for the first time in his career to go along with 28 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That would earn him his first Pro Bowl selection and his first ever division title. This then set up a wildcard round game against the Philadelphia Eagles, who had been in the Super Bowl just 1 year earlier. And what did Baker do to them? He absolutely destroyed them, tossing 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in a 32-9 win. And hell, even after that game, Jason Kelce, who would retire as an NFL legend soon after, was full of praise for the man who served him an L in his final game ever.
Listen, I've always had tremendous respect for Baker. He's a fighter. He's a guy that wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a guy that motivates people. You can tell that just by any team he's been on. You can tell guys rally around him and enjoy playing with him. And I think that he's a guy that, we all have ups and downs in our career and are faced with adversity, and that's how you handle that and how you keep pushing forward. And he's clearly a fighter, and he's showing the world what he can do. So I absolutely loved watching. Unfortunately, we had to be on the tail end of it, the end of the year, but definitely loved watching Baker play this year.
And that's the interesting thing too. Kelce picks up on a key point about Baker here. It's his ability to galvanize a locker room and elevate his teammates. It takes a lot to overcome the rejection of not 1, not 2, but 3 different teams, and to walk into an entirely new locker room and instantly earn their trust and become their new leader. Baker Mayfield did that almost instantly in Tampa Bay, which is a testament to his toughness and qualities as a teammate. But why is he so liked in the locker room? Well, for that, we're going to hear from Liam Cohen, who was Baker's offensive coordinator in 2024.
He's an igniter. He's the type of person that you really just want to gravitate towards, and he's really a lineman at heart. That's his personality.
I love this. What does that mean?
Those are his best friends. Those are his guys. He's just one of the guys. He's our franchise quarterback. He's obviously having a ton of success right now, but he is truly one of them. Those are the guys he takes out to dinner every week. Those are the guys he vacations with in the off season. So he is truly one of them, where it's not just okay, it's Baker and then the rest of the guys.
And now look, winning your division title in year 1 is certainly a good way to earn trust, but it's clear that Baker knows exactly how to fit in and build positive winning culture in the locker room. He delivered career best efforts in Tampa Bay in 2023, and with Liam Cohen as offensive coordinator in 2024, the numbers got even better to the tune of 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Not only was that a career high in passing yards, but it was also a career high completion rate of 71.4%, reflecting just how advanced Baker Mayfield now was. Just 2 years after being an almost forgotten man, he was legitimately being viewed as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, having secured his team a second division title in 2 years and himself a second Pro Bowl. And yes, on the topic of career bests, how about his 378 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground in that 2024 campaign? This guy wasn't just doing it with his arm now, he had fully developed into a dual threat weapon, and you bet his legendary teammates were noticing.
Baker in particular On 4th and 1, the Baker keeper, how many times he was almost brought down in extended plays, took care of the ball, threaded passes that were really ridiculous today. Just speak to what this guy is doing for you.
I mean, he's extremely difficult to defend. He's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the game right now. He keeps plays alive. He's the ultimate competitor.
And to be fair, Mike Evans pretty much does sum up Baker Mayfield perfectly. He's a hell of a player and one hell of a competitor. He dug deep for an opportunity he probably thought at one point would never materialize, and now he's making the most of it. Like, even now in 2025, he is still delivering at that same level, and potentially you could even argue even higher. After delivering a stellar game-winning drive against Houston in Week 2 of this 2025 season, Bruce Arians and the Pat McAfee crew were happy to discuss MVP aspirations for this Buccaneers quarterback.
You know, the last 2 weeks, winning ball games on the last play, willing your team to a win. All right, we're talking about he's playing with 5 starters out. Right. Early. 2 top receivers, both tackles. I mean, what he's doing is amazing.
And that's the thing too, the game winner against Houston in Week 2 was already Mayfield's second game-winning drive of the season, but then in Week 3, he only went out and did it again. Against the New York Jets down by 1 after a crazy blocked field goal, Mayfield marched his men 48 yards downfield and with some insane passes along the way. This set up a 36-yarder for Chase McLaughlin to win the game, giving Baker Mayfield a league-leading 3 game-winning drives through 3 games, so you bet your ass this guy is appreciated in the locker room.
Man, Baker, I can't say enough about him, man. Clutchest quarterback in the league. Like, once we know that he's going in with 2 minutes left or anything, any situation, he's been showing it the past 3 weeks. He's been taking care of business, and so I got to get my hats off to him and the offense for making those drives and winning these games. You know, bad wins, we'll still take them. No matter how they come, we're going to take the win regardless, but they've been doing a great job of closing the games and finishing them for us.
And speaking of Baker, you've played with him over a few years there in Tampa. What's the biggest difference in Baker Mayfield currently in 2025 compared to what you've seen in years past?
I think he's the same Baker. Ever since he's been with us, I feel like he's just a gamer. Like, he just loves playing the game. You know, he's very passionate about the game, and he just does his job very well. And he's very competitive, what you want from your quarterback, and he's going to get it done any way he needs to.
Like, this dude is a competitor, a playmaker, he's clutch, and he's inspirational. That's how legends describe Baker Mayfield. And truthfully, if the dude keeps delivering MVP performances and clutch wins, unstoppable might just not be a title, it might be his reality.